Hey budgeteers, there are a lot of terms around stock trading that you might need to know before you start trading. But today, I want to focus on 7 terms that you're going to need to know in order to begin trading successfully. The first term is stock. In general, what is stock? Why are we buying it? And why are we trading it? So I'm sure you've heard that stock is owning a part of a company. So basically, a stock is a certificate or a share of a company. If there are 10 million shares available and you own one, that means you own 1/10,000,000th of the company, which is awesome. So the more shares you buy, the more ownership you have. And that's why they say that the shareholder with the most stock has the most say in the company. Because if you own 51% of the company, that means you own the most. No matter who else comes up against you, nobody can own as much stock or more stock than you do. Therefore, you own the company at 51% share. The next term you'll want to know is portfolio. A portfolio is just your stocks all gathered in one spot. So you may have one share, you may have 1,000,000 shares of any kind of stock in different areas, in different companies, in different parts of the world. You may have shares of stock from all over the place at different risk levels, at different lengths that you're planning on holding them. But when they're all compiled into one area or section, that's a portfolio of stock. The next term you'll want to know is stock symbol. A stock symbol is how you look up information about a company that you want to know more about. A stock symbol can be anywhere from 1 to 4 letters, and you can look it up by typing those 4 letters into a information database, such as Yahoo Finance, and you can look up information about how the stock is doing. So for example, Google is GOOG, which is similar to Google, but that's their symbol. If you type that in, you'll start to find information about Google as a company. Once you've selected your stock, you'll have to put in an order. An order is where you put out a bid to say that you're willing to buy a stock. You can put in the price that you're willing to pay, and then if somebody's willing to sell their shares, then you'll buy that at whatever price is agreed upon between you and the seller. Vice versa, if you're selling your stock, you'll put it out for a certain price, and if somebody is willing to pay that price, then you'll give your shares to that person. So you have to put in an order in order to sell or buy the stock. The next is a dividend. A dividend is part of a company's earnings that they're going to pay out to you. So if you're invested in a stock and there is 1,000 shares of stocks that can be obtained and you own one of those shares, if they're going to pay out $1,000 to their investors as a dividend, then you would get 1/1,000th of the $1,000. Therefore, you would get a $1 dividend. Dividends aren't paid by all companies in stock. Some companies that are more growth companies will actually hold all of their money and they'll use that to grow the business. They want to create more products, they want to create more visibility in the market. They'll use that money to grow. Other companies may be a lot larger and they don't have as much room to grow. They're ready to start paying out and giving that appreciation back to those that are invested in the company. Stock exchange. A stock exchange is a place where stocks are traded. There are actually multiple different stock exchanges that stocks are traded on. So I'm sure you've heard of the NASDAQ or the NYSE. You can trade on either one of those platforms, but when your company is listed, you're only listed on one of those. They have different requirements for companies to join that stock exchange, but to us, it mostly doesn't matter, but there are some reasons why it will matter that we'll get to when we get into future videos. There are different stock trading companies that only focus on certain market stock exchanges, and some that won't allow you to trade on other smaller exchanges. The last one I want to talk about is a brokerage. A brokerage is a place that will buy and sell stock for you. So when you put in your order through an account, that is a brokerage. There are lots of those out there. You've got Fidelity, you've got Robinhood, you have your standard E-Trade. There's a bunch out there that are willing to help you buy and sell stock. They're set up in a way that they have traders on hand, they have people that can help you, and they're ready to help you buy and sell stock at any time. So in order to start trading stock, you have to have a brokerage somewhere, however that may be set up for you. and you'll have to set up an account with them, put money into it, and then use that account to buy and sell stock. Now, there are typically fees on those brokerage accounts every time you make a trade. However, I'm going to show you how you can make trades without fees, but it's more on you, and you have to make more of the decisions because there are less tools and resources when you don't pay those fees versus when you pay those fees, you have a lot of information at your hands and also maybe somebody that's right there to help you make good trades. So there is some give and take, but you will learn both sides of how to do that. And that's it for our stock term definitions today. There are a lot of terms out there that you could know, and we could keep going all day in terms of what you may want to know out there, but these are just the basics of what you need to know so that when we start talking in the next videos, you can understand a little bit better about what's going on. Now, we will get into more definitions later as we begin to dive deeper into the stock trading world, but for now, in order to get the basics of stock trading, I think this is what you'll need. And if not, we'll continue to define more words and vocabulary as we go forward, and I'll make sure that you aren't lost. If you have any questions about these terms, or you want to know anything else about stock trading, leave it in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer those questions, and we'll see you next time, Budgeteers. For watching, I'm extremely glad to have you here. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave them down below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the thumbs up. For more awesome videos, make sure you are subscribed.